G'day, I'm Jimmy Christmas, and this is my light show. It doesn't look much now, but hang on, let me fix that for you. Welcome to part one of this behind the scenes series as I walk you through how I put my light show together. And today, it's all about the Mega Tree. It's easily the most asked about prop on my display. With over 1 million views of it being set up on my Facebook page, I figured it'd be a perfect place to start. When I first came across these videos of all these animated lighting displays, I was instantly drawn to the Mega Tree. These big structures standing as tall, if not taller than the house, demanding your attention as it brought the music to life. But plenty of people like to tell me in the comments that it's not a tree, it's not pointed at the top, it's not 360 degrees around. Thanks, Captain Obvious. But in this hobby, the structure is known as a mega tree, and it can be built 100 different ways, and this is how I went about it. I went with a 180 degree tree, simply because the viewing point's from the front, and no one sees the show from behind. But if you live on a corner block or simply want a 360 degree tree, the build is exactly the same, except you have to double your strands and make a circle instead of a semicircle. Easy, right? The overall height of this tree is 6 metres, and it's 3 metres wide at the bottom, and the topper is 1 metre wide. But what makes my design different to a lot of the other ones out there is that I've actually raised mine 350mm off the ground. And the reason I've done that is because, well, I'm also a lawn nut too. And by doing this, I'm able to easily mow around the outside, and with a cheapo Zeta mower, I can get up underneath and keep everything tidy for the month of December. Well, for the most part anyways. For the pole, I've opted for 75mm by 75mm box section with a 1mm thickness. And then from the base, I've come up 450mm to give me that 350mm clearance to mow under. And with 50 by 25mm box section, I've bent up a semicircle with a 1.5 metre radius. Also using the same boxing, I've put in support struts around so that once the tree is wound up and under tension, it can hold the load. Now around the outside of the base, I've welded 32 hooks which are 150mm apart, which is where the pixel strips hook onto. And same as the base, the topper has the hooks welded on but at a 40mm spacing. The topper is made with 5mm plate steel, which has been cut into a circle with a 1 metre diameter. There's also a steel bar welded on there, which is where I mount my 270 node star. And one thing that people like to point out in the comments is they think my star's too small for the tree. But it's alright. I love you, little buddy. You're doing a good job. But how do I get these here all the way up there? Well, to do that, all I do is wind this boat winch down, it brings the topper down, and I can do whatever I need. One thing I recommend getting is, if you go this boat winch option, is that you get the dual action so that it can lock both ways, so that if you do happen to let go of it, it's not going to come screaming down and land on your head, because, well, hey, you don't want that to happen, right? So for this design here, what I've done is, with the steel cable that's on the boat winch, it runs up, goes through the topper here, goes right up to the top of the post, where on top there's a roller, comes right back down again, and then joins on the top here. Also, we've put this sleeve on that's part of the topper. It's got these rollers on either side, so that as you wind it up and down, it can move freely and doesn't want to jam up. Now once all the strips are on and it's been wound up, it's now time to wire to the controller and make it blink. Now this tree is made up of 32 strands. Each strand has 112 volt WS2811 bullet pixels. Yeah, that's right, 12 volt. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, you're about to learn about the great argument between 12 volt, 5 volt, and which one's more superior. But I'm 12 volt. If you want to fight me, come get it. But each pixel's been pushed in to every second hole of this pixel strip, which gives it a 50mm spacing. Now from there, I've put all my strands into groups of 4. So 100 up, 100 down, 100 up, and 100 down. Now that now is known as a string. And it's called a string because, well, it just is, okay? Actually, it's called a string because it's known as a group of lights or strands that have been linked together, and it all go back to one single port of the controller. So I've got 32 strands divided by 4, and that gives me 8 ports that I use on the controller. So each string runs back to this controller, which is the Falcon F16 V3. Now, I'm not going to go into this controller build today. There's going to be another video coming out in this series where I cover how I build all my controllers. So Each strand of 4, which we know is a string, comes back to this controller and goes to a single port. And then from there, out of this power distribution board, I run a wire which then goes out and then plugs into the end of each string to help with voltage drop and keep things bright across the board, which is also known as power injection. Now, before you electricians and lighting gurus head to the comment section and say, but Jimmy, I did this, I did that, I don't power inject. Well, good for you. I mean, is the way I do things the only way? No, it's not, but it works for me. And as the saying goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And have I skinned a cat before? Well, no, I haven't, but apparently there's more than one way. Now, the frame is bolted down onto this permanent concrete footing, which is 450 by 450 mil and 1 metre deep with rebar reinforcement. Now, this thing has got a good hold of the earth. Now, one thing you probably notice about this tree is that I don't actually run any guide wires for extra support. Now, again, before you engineering geniuses head to the comment section and say, but Jimmy, you need guide wires, it's going to blow over. Look, just shh. Okay, now this bad boy's been in for 5 seasons and seen some pretty hectic Queensland storms, and it hasn't gone nowhere. Now, should I have guide wires? Well, yeah, I probably should. But am I going to put guide wires in because you told me to? No, I'm not. Plus, if I'm worried about a storm, I'll just walk outside and wind it down. Problem solved. Now, another question I'm always asked is, where do I store this frame once Christmas is over? Well, I'm lucky in the sense that I'm a farmer. So once all the lights are off, I can take it out, put it on the back of a body truck, and store in one of our sheds until next year. So that's it for part 1 of this behind the scenes series and how I put together my mega tree. In part 2, I'll be showing you how I put together and design my matrix. So make sure you give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check that notification bell so you know as soon as a new video drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.